What you're going to hear about today is nothing short of a miracle.
Hey everybody, I got some really exciting news. It's a new way for us to do math. It's a pretty engaging, exciting way, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's called IXL, and you've probably seen it in the past at some point, but we're excited to get to use it more this year. And it's actually now in Clevver, so when you go into your Clevver login, you will see the little IXL logo right there. You can click on that and it'll take you in there. And we're going to start doing a lot more of our math work in there. I know we've had some issues with taking pictures of our assignments and uploading them in the Seesaw, so hopefully this will help us out quite a bit. So let's show you how it works.
Okay, once you log into Clevver, and it's important to do so because that is where IXL is going to live. Here are your teacher pages, Mr. Byers' page, Mr. Jones's page, my page, Mr. Upton. So head to the Penguin, head to Mr. Kuntz, and in there now you should see 4 things in there. Seesaw, where you've been heading quite a bit, extra math, there's our Zoom meeting, and how's a new one, IXL. So if you click on IXL, Clevver is going to sign you in like before, and at the top, it looks a little overwhelming if you've never been here before, but the first thing to notice is right up here, you'll see a yellow star that says 1 skill suggested by your teacher. So Mr. Jones and I, this is for today's assignment. This will tell you exactly where to go. You can click on this 1 skill, and it says make arrays to model multiplication, 4th grade. So click on that, and that will take you to your skill. And it says, make a rectangular array of squares to model 2 times 5. So I'm going to start here, and if I hold the button down and drag, I can make a big square, right? It wants one that's 2 by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And push submit, 2 by 5. Excellent. And you can see over here, this is the smart score. I have 10 points now. 4 by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Submit. Excellent. I've got 19 points. 1 by 7. Normally I've been doing 1 across. This is what I would do for 1 by 7. Let's try to do 7 by 1 and see what it says. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because that's 7 by 1 up and down. And if we push submit, it likes that one too. So it's commutative property. It doesn't really matter. Now, since I'm borrowing a student's account to do this, I'm going to make a mistake on purpose and show you what happens. So we're at 28 points, and this one says 5 by 5. So let's say I do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say I accidentally miscount and do a 4 by 4 instead of a 5 by 5, and I push submit. It says, sorry, incorrect, and it will tell you what it should have been. You can review it. You answered this. This is what it could look like, 5 by 3. It shows you how to work it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can say, okay, got it. But notice my score went down to 25. So as you cruise through this and get higher in the numbers, you'll earn some badges over here. And this is what Mr. Jones and I were talking about. The goal is to get to 100. But sometimes people, when they get up into the 90s, those problems get a little bit trickier, and it gets frustrating because it keeps, every time you miss one, it bounces you back down. So don't get super frustrated. If you make it up into the 80s and you can't get any higher, that's just fine. That's good enough for us. That means you know how to do this skill.
So now that you've seen how to get into IXL and gotten a look around in there, go ahead and do that first activity that we put in there for you to do. And as Mr. Kuntz mentioned, you can look at your smart score, and that's what you're going to be uploading into Seesaw. So you're going to write your smart score as the response to the activity in Seesaw. We can also go back in ourselves in IXL and see it there as well, but we'd love to see you write that there. And try to get into the 80 range, try to get somewhere in there. As you get more and more into it, if you start getting closer to 90 and closer to 100, the problems are going to get more difficult and more difficult. So if you want to challenge yourself to go that far, feel free, but we would just love to see a score in the 80s. So once you get around there, unless you want to push it farther, just write down what your score is, upload it in the Seesaw, and we'll take a look. Have fun.